Hello everybody, Martin here, back with round 2 of this Legacy League, playing Grixis Delver. We're up one match, so that's nice. Here we have won the die roll, and our opponent is named Tony Montana. I don't know who that is. Although it reminds me of a movie character. Anyways, we've won the die roll. We would definitely like to be on the play. Ooh, this is a nice hand. Ideally, we'd have like a daze and a one-drop creature. We have the Harvester, but we can't complain about this. Hope we can get some mileage out of this Stifle. So, I think we're going to lead on Delta. Just to give a little bit less away. Also, I mean, if we lead on C and they have a Wasteland, we can stifle the Wasteland. And that's probably just as well. Anyway, they mulligan to 6 and they scry to the top. But I'm going to lead on Delta. I might want to be able to end of turn bolt, maybe like if they're on elves or something. And they make a turn elf. Oh, Eldrazi. Alright. Well, I think that means our Stifle is probably not going to be very good. It also means Pyromancer is going to be pretty good. Unless they're on like, there are many Eldrazi decks that run like in Spirit Guides or like Lotus Petals or Mana Ramp. But if they're running that, then there's no way they can cast the Thought-Knot Seer through a cavern, which means we will it. They have it on turn 2. And we're definitely going to snap force a Thought-Knot Seer. Endless one? Not so much. Alright, well, there it is. So we're going to pitch the Stifle here. And just get the trigger off the young Pyromancer. And a Wasteland would be really nice. Delver is also pretty good. We can most likely ensure that he flips. Let's just serve in for 3 with our Pyromancer before we do anything. And here we're definitely going to ponder off the Underground Sea as we have a second Underground Sea. If we didn't have a third land, then you can say you should ponder off the Underground Sea because we want to keep Bolt mana open, but there's also a world where we want to make like Death Threat Shaman. I'm not sure. Anyways, let's go ahead and hopefully set up this Delver. Ooh. Gosh, I am not sure about this. So we could like draw the Ponder, flip the Force, or the other way around maybe. Like maybe there's actually a world where we're supposed to just take the Force now and then like not play out Delver so we can force. Yeah, I think so actually. Just because I'm not sure if we're able to really profitably race. Well, maybe we're able to race. They have like a big fatty next turn. But we'd really like to not randomly get chalised for one. No, I think I'm going to actually do that. Be a bit more cautious. Ancient Tomb. Alright, what you got? 6 Endbringer. See, now that's a problem. An Endbringer needs to not stick around. If I had double Volcanic, I'd be tempted to let him live and then double Bolt. But yeah, not so much. So we can try and ponder into a second Volcanic. Wow, no, there's a Bolt on top, so we can't both get a land and the Bolt. So right now, if they aren't able to play a creature next turn, we can deal them lethal by pondering now and then bolting end of turn, having 7 on the crackback. So I think what I'm going to do is here I'm going to take the daze, leave the bolt on top, and then like if I can randomly daze something, I'm not really sure if that's probably pretty unlikely. The daze is going to be relevant here, but we can try it. Then we get to bolt end of turn, bolt again, and we should have it, unless they find a way to clear our board. So maybe the correct thing is to take the ponder and cast that to get another token, and then take the daze. Get a card deeper. That is probably more correct. Well, we force them to pay with Ancient Tune. Guess I kind of like doing that. Deal themselves 2 damage, get an extra token. They do. Yeah, so we have them. Yeah, I have what, 5 tokens. We'll get a 6th with a bolt. Bolt them down to 5, so that should be fine. They are thinking? No. This probably will induce the scoop. Yeah. Alright, so they concede. Let's see what we have in sideboarding. Alright, so we definitely want the Baleful Strix. We also definitely want the Ancient Grudges for their lock pieces. I'm not really sure we want anything else. Orb harm them. Not really. Well, I mean, it could, but probably too situational, and they have a lot of lands, and they don't like their best land that it does need to tap in Ayavugan. So I'm guessing we don't want Winter Orb. So we can bring out 4 cards here. I'm tempted to just bring out all 4 Stifles, honestly, because they don't have any like fetch lands. They are likely to have some targets there, like Displacer potentially. Or we already saw the Endbringer, but I think if Endbringer is down and your like Stifle is just buying you maybe half a turn cycle, because Endbringer untaps on each upkeep. So I think we can shave those. Daze is probably going to be great here, but potentially could do something. I don't like bringing in 1 mana disruption against them, as we're able to answer quite a few of their things resolved, like with our removal, the bolts, the fire, even the ice, and the Ancient Grudges for their artifacts. So I think this is pretty happy with this setup. So let's see, this probably, well, this has the potential to be a lot harder on the draw. We just have to kind of hope either to have Force of Will and a meaningful 5-card hand once Force has been used, or that they mulligan into crap. Alright, well, we obviously can't keep this, sadly. There are no lands. They mulligan to 6, so let's go ahead and mulligan as well. Yeah, we're going to keep this. It's very vulnerable to a turn 1 Chalice, unless we can draw into a second land, in which case Grudge should get us out of that trouble. We get to scry. They mulligan down to 5, so they keep their 5-card hand. They scry to the top, and we're going to scry this to the top because there's that land we want. Alright. Temple into Mimic, maybe? Endless one. Okay. sure we can handle a 2/2 endless one. So I guess probing here is like they're quite the aggressive deck here, but I think we're okay. They have only 3 cards, and alright, so, and they scribe to the top, so likely they will have a land. Alright, they have an endless one, they have a TKS, and a Smasher. That's potentially like a lot of damage our way, but we have the days to hopefully snag the Thought-Knot Seer next turn. And yeah, so let's just get this deck down. So I can only assume that their draw step was a land. Okay. Am I alright with that? I think I am. I think I have to days for like one of their big fatties. Deathrite Shaman is like great at being like a multi-purpose mana accelerator and stuff like that, but their deck doesn't run a lot of instants and sorceries, so the damage part is maybe it's not at its very best. I think we're going to brainstorm here. Sometimes you want to consider brainstorming. Well, I guess we get the option to do that anyways. I was going to say sometimes you want to consider cracking a fetch first. If you have a Delver in hand, you want to set up the brainstorm, the Delver flip, of course. But okay, so what don't we really need here? I guess we can do without one of the lands. We'll put back Probe on top. We'll play the Volcanic and play the Delver. Okay, so they scribe the Dismember to the top, so they're just like stuck with no more lands. I wonder if they're going to play out the second endless one this turn. They are and it's for like as a 2/2. I'm definitely not gonna daze it. I'm gonna save the daze for the Thought-Knot Seer. I mean, we don't have a limitless supply of life here, so like maybe we are supposed to daze it, but I still think we can probably manage this and race them with the flip. Okay, so now they have Thought-Knot Seer, Smasher, and an Unknown. That is not a land. Alright, with Probe. Draw the Probe. We're going to fetch because we don't know the land off the Probe. Get a try. That might actually become relevant with the Deathrite. So, oof. We're going to use the Underground Sea to pay. We drew a Jite. Wow, okay. Well, we have the Grudge for that. That was basically the single card that would have been a reason to not use the Underground Sea, because, well, I guess maybe Baleful Strix, but because we can just use the Tropical Island to pay for the Deathrite. Alright, well, but that's good. Like, next turn we get to make Angler. And Angler basically becomes Moat against these endless ones. And we can start, like, pushing in with him if we want to, once that is sort of opportune for us. Alright, this is looking pretty good. I'm feeling somewhat comfortable about this. We're going to take 4 now and drop to 8 for the next turn, and then we have days in case they draw their second land. Then we make Angler next turn, and we potentially will have to lose. No, we won't have to lose the Grudge to the Thought-Knot Seer because that would be dazed. So I don't know. How do you like the scribe to the top, the Dismember? Just be sure that that is actually what happened. Tony Montana keeps this hand to put a card on top. Yeah. Well. So, can't really imagine them not attacking. Yeah. Well, we're just gonna take it. It's fine. Maybe they drew land and was just sandbagging it to make us decide on blocks on a less enlightened ground. Or maybe their connection is really bad, or they are like double queued or something. They're being quite slow. Or we can be kind and say they're being quite deliberate. Okay. We go to 8. Do they have a land? They do not. Well, I think that pretty much makes this a sort of non-contest. So we're going to attack with the Insectile Aberration first. We're going to play the Angler, and then we're going to, I think, ponder off the Volcanic. I mean, that means if we draw a Bolt, or if we find a Bolt with Ponder, we can't cast it this turn, but we get to sort of buff our life total a little bit. Maybe that's incorrect, though. Maybe we just need to go for the Bolt angle. There's also, like, Ponder could show us a fetch land. We can get a second Underground Sea and have Deathrite Drain up. Sorry about this. I don't know why our opponent's being so super slow. So, I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience playing Delver. So I don't have a lot of experience playing Delver against Eldrazi, but I have faced it a couple of times, and so far I've won. Like, I think this is the 3rd match with this deck. And, I don't know, like, I thought, like, you know, on the Eldrazi package, you know, it states that it's really good against the blue decks of the format kind of thing. This deck seems pretty well equipped to handle. I mean, that being said, I won the dice roll here. They didn't get the challenge for one that can, like, be absolutely crippling game 1, especially. Alright, so anyways, yeah, let's ponder first. Yeah, I guess I like taking the Force here. Or do I? I mean, I think these 3 cards are fine. Ideally, we want Brainstorm and Force so we can have Force and Daze. It's probably not going to come up at all. Like, either the Daze will be plenty or they will find, like, a cavern, in which case none of it matters, but I think it's too late for them. Let's just take the Brainstorm. That way we can Brainstorm into the Force if we have to. But Daze should be enough for whatever they're contemplating. And yeah, maybe I'm just more comfortable. Like, if they get a way to see our hand, well, I'd probably Brainstorm if it's Thoughtless here, but it's kind of fine that they don't know that we have access to a Force of Will. guess is what I'm trying to say. So here, like, we have to choose. We decided to keep up the green. The only creature in the graveyard is Deathrite Shaman, so we keep that there because the cost of that is to exile more, delve away like all three of these instants and sorceries. I guess we don't actually. Like, they're likely to lose a creature here or there. They have two little ones, and we have creatures, so I'm pretty sure there will be more creatures in the yard if the game goes beyond what we can handle. So let's see if they draw a second land on their 5th turn here. They don't. They concede. All right. Well, that was a bit of a non-match, or a non-game, I should say. The last one here. The game one was pretty fun, I thought. All right. Well, thanks for watching. I'll be back for round number 3.